as we will have the 5 red lights on. And they're out after a long wait. Nasev gets a great start down into turn 1. And Nasev straight off into the lead. And we've certainly not missed this season. Is Cookie going to try and pick around the outside of Nasev? Side by side they go through turn 1 and 2. And Cookie trying to get back through again as he crunches Nasev off the track. Is Seth going to try and get through on the outside? Is Cookie pushing Seth to the outside? As Nasev dives it back through again. And Cookie still battling with Nasev. Rio Harris involved here as well. Side by side he goes with Cookie as Nasev is around. Both V-Carbs around. Big crash with the V-Carb driver. Sluscorn down and around as Rio back up into P2 with Seth involved here as well. And Seth back into P2 here. As Gordon battling with Rio Harris side by side. They go through turns 3 and 4 and contact between Gordon and Rio. And they just about survive. Nasev getting through on Gordon now, looking down the inside of Rio Harris, and Nasev up into P3, and he's going to look to recover. Trying to maximise his exit to the final corner. Liam's got a shoddy exit, and that's opened the door now for both Mallard and Ollie to potentially go either side of Liam down into turn 1. Both of them get through, and Ty Clear may even look down the inside, and he does. But has he got too late in the brakes? Very late in the brakes, does Ty, but just about keeps away from the rear of Mallard. Mallard almost collected there, but just about survives ahead. Meanwhile, Gordon on the outside of Rio Harris, side by side they go through turn 4. Gordon still there, Rio pushing him off the track. These two are feisty as Gordon around the outside, Rio pushing him off the track. Gordon has to play it calm. They've lost the rest of the cars ahead here as Gordon finally gets through, and Rio Harris goes very deep, opens the door again to Rio through turn 2 and 3, and more contact between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin as they're barging wheels as they're going to head through turn 4. A lot of contact between Rio and Gordon, as I'm sure the stewards going to be very busy after this one. A lot of... But interesting to see. Oh, big spin from Liam. Oh, my lord. Hold on to it, Liam. In the background, Liam just about surviving. Ty Clear gets back up into P9 as he... The potential 2-stop. Maybe a soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, hard. Not quite sure what Cookie's going for today. He's going for definitely a different strategy than we expected. I doubt he's going to do soft, medium to the end. That would be a hilarious stint if he could pull it off. But it's Womack now actually battling with Gordon. Womack's on the outside of Gordon, and Gordon leaving the box there on the fresh hard tyres. And down the inside of Womack, side by side they go. A little bit of contact between the Sauber and the Aston Martin driver. It's a drag race out of turn 4, and Gordon gets ahead on the fresh hard tyres. These two are going to try and train each other along. It's going to allow Rio Harris to potentially get inside DRS range here as Ollie and Mallard potentially going to swap as Ollie with a risky move into turn 1. That was... Oh, what was he doing there? That was scary. As Ollie with a very late dive on the inside of Mallard as these two bang wheels together, and it may allow Franz Hermann both through on both of them, as Franz on the inside of Ollie going to get through. Mallard going to defend the inside. A little bit of contact between Mallard as Ollie round the outside again. These two still side by side. Mallard going to keep it ahead of Franz Hermann. Franz now on the rear of Mallard. And up to turn 11, can Franz get on the inside of the Red Bull? Has the fresher tyres. Franz dives later than the Mallard. As Mallard going to look for the switchback though, as we head through turn 12, and Franz finally going to secure that move, surely. As Mallard has to back out. Was able to get ahead with the fresher tyres, but now Mallard with DRS may get straight back ahead of the V-Carb. And he does just that, as Ollie may even look for a late send on Franz Hermann. But no move there as Franz going to try and get back through on Mallard. And going to try and make the move as Mallard losing the rear, and a 3-second penalty for Franz Hermann after a little bit of a mistake from Mallard. As Franz is now going to try and dive it through at turn 4. And dives later than the Red Bull. But the Red Bull with a lovely switchback potentially on the cards. And Mallard with one of the moves of the season. What a switchback. And Franz Hermann's going to need a new pair of socks after that move. What an absolute switchback there. Mallard made the mistake out of turn 3. But definitely Oh, and Franz Hermann dives on the inside of turn 10. Mallard with another switchback. Oh my god. Oh, he's going to need new socks again. Oh, how many pairs of socks do you need, Franz Hermann, as Mallard has been consistently switchbacking him? He's not going to do it again, surely, as we head up through turn 12. And finally, Franz makes the move work. E3 though, and he's got a decent little bit of clean air to use as Mallard on the outside of Franz Hermann. Ollie switches to the inside as Franz going to go defensive. And Franz just about holding on to that position. These three have been battling absolutely ferociously. Mallard going to push Franz to the inside. As Franz now round the outside of Mallard, side by side they go, bit of contact. Ollie trying to get involved here. But these three have been absolutely battling. I'm sure Franz Hermann very frustrated getting caught behind in this battle as he sends it down into turn 12. Oh, big bumping and barging from Franz Hermann on the rear of Mallard. And now Mallard without DRS going to lose out to Ollie as well, which I'm sure the stewards may not look too kindly on that move. That may invite Ty Clear onto the rear of Mallard here. As Ty now down the inside of Mallard. And Ollie also down the inside of Franz Hermann. Franz with a switchback though. Can he get it to stick around turn 2? And Franz with a lovely switchback as Ty gets through on Mallard. Who do we even watch here? The battling is so beautiful. As Mallard now back down the inside again. As a big contact between him and Ty. And Mallard through, but he's going to let Ty back through again. Actually going to let through Liam as well. I think Mallard accepting he was in the wrong there. But can he still go for a late send in a turn 1 on the Sauber driver? As he is going to pull out late, and Rio down the inside of the Sauber. And Rio through on the Sauber as Womack's now going to try get back ahead. As neither driver seems to be using DRS, not quite sure why that is. A bit of desync again from... As Ollie actually into the box as well. That's the issue with pitting that early. Is a couple of drivers now have had to stop. As Ty Clear now up into P7. Mallard going to try and follow him through on the inside of Liam. And gets ahead. Liam going to look for the switchback, but Mallard covers it off. But can Liam get the exit out of turn 3? As Mallard still has DRS going to look to defend, but doesn't look like Liam close enough to be going for a late send. And Mallard up into P8 now. The hard tyres Thorey going to inherit P14 potentially. As Jimmy Dwyer, you're going to see Owen Top Gun. Oh, almost contact with Thorey there. As these two going to battle. As the Greek driver on the outside of Thorey. The Dutch driver, and Thorey gets through. Alright, Top Gun gets through on Thorey there. And it's looking already like a slam dunk move. Nasev going to go defensive to the inside. But does he have anything to defend against the Red Bull? Is Cookie going to pull to the inside? Nasev going to push him to the inside. A little bit of contact between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. But Cookie going to make this move happen. And does Nasev have any answer for it? As Nasev going to try and get back through up to turn 4. Cookie goes defensive to the inside of turn 4, and Nasev going to pick the outside. As he's going to try and send it around the outside between Cookie and the Red Bull. But Cookie breaks later at turn 4. Goes up as Mallard and Ty Clear battling here. As Mallard into the rear of Ty. As Ty now up into P8. And Mallard, who looked to potentially have P7 in the bag, now battling over P8. And struggling here with that time penalty. But still keeping him keen as Gordon dives down the inside of turn 4. A very opportunistic move. We weren't seeing that coming, and did Seth see it coming as they battle round again. A little bit of bump and a barge, and Gordon's round. Gordon's round after contact with Seth. And now Gordon is going to have Rio Harris for company, which I'm sure is not what he wanted to see, as Gordon and Seth come together now. As Ty back again ahead of Mallard. Mallard going to try and get back ahead down into turn 4. The battling throughout this race has been absolutely lightning. Ty Clear around the outside. Going to try and keep it. Mallard loses the rear, bit of wheel banging with him and the Aston Martin driver as he tries to keep it in as Top Gun retires in the pit lane, which is going to hand Jimmy Dwyer a point as Mallard back down the inside of Ty Clear. And I think he's trying to force Ty into a mistake here. Meanwhile, Nasev on the inside takes the lead of the race here on the penultimate lap. Nasev and Cookie still battling as Cookie. Contact with Nasev. Has more contact with Cookie. Cookie cooks the rears and spins into Nasev there. Nasev going to get back through again into P1. Going to try and get back through Nasev. Gordon gonna go to the outside of Rio Harris as Rio Harris goes defensive. Gordon looking for the switchback through turn 4. Side by side they go. Meanwhile, Cookie on the outside of turn 10 as Cookie on the rear, still trying to find a way through Nasev. Gordon trying to get through on Rio Harris. Liam through on Michael Louis. There's battles absolutely everywhere as we're about to head onto the final lap. Does Nasev have enough to defend as Liam gets another penalty? Mallard on the inside of Liam gets on through. Or Mallard on the inside of Ty. I'm jumping over as Cookie now on the inside of Nasev. Oh, they're DRS chicken! DRS chicken on the final lap! Nasev, does he have it? Does Cookie have it? Who has it? Nasev on the rear now of Cookie. Does he have the DRS open? He does! As we head down the main straight in the final lap. Nasev going to pull to the inside. And on the inside, can the Mercedes get ahead of Cookie as Cookie dives around the outside? Side by side they go and Nasev gets through on Cookie as Cookie trying to force his way back through again as we head out of turn 4 and Cookie with a massive slip of the rear. Oh my god, this race has been absolute cinema. Has Nasev done enough here to win it here? Will he go for a late send into turn 4? Goes round the outside of Rio Harris. Side by side these drivers go, but Rio keeps it ahead. We've got Liam on the rear of Ty Clear as we head down to turn 1. As Ty might even go for a send on Mallard. Goes defensive, unable to get ahead. Meanwhile, Cookie out of turn 11. Can he charge and get ahead in a save as we head up the hill? Through the penultimate corner, Cookie needs to nail his exit. He's not got the best of exits. Back on the throttle again he goes. But is it enough? Cookie charging on the rear of Nasev, but has Nasev done enough here in Bahrain? As we round the final corner, Cookie late on the brakes, but has he got enough in the tank? I don't think he does. And Nasev, on his first race of the season, will win here in Bahrain. What a race! As Seth now may get a podium ahead of Rio Harris as Gordon going to finish in P5, but in the background, Liam battling with Mallard and Ty as well. Side by side they go through the long right-hander. Mallard gets through up into P8 as Ty going to try and fight his way back through. Liam losing the rear as Ty trying to push to get ahead here. Ty doesn't need to go for this, he'll have it because of penalties anyway. As Liam goes a bit wide, that's opened the door to Ty. Ty going to try and drag race to the line as Mallard going to cross the line and P8, but Ty going to beat the Haas at the line and Ty up to P8 as Mallard finishes P9, Michael Louis into P10, Liam into P11, and I'm about to pass out.